Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to European Racing Organization, and welcome along to round 17 of 18 of season 5 of the F4 division in this best league in the world, should we say, in terms of league racing on the PlayStation, Xbox, as well as PC. We are here in USA. This is the F4 division, as we say, and with just 2 rounds to go, what a race we have on our hands here. Leave a like if you are excited for this race and the title fight as well, because we have the drivers as well as constructors championship yet to be decided, and this could be one of the closest fights we have seen this season. I'm not sure about other divisions, but the drivers championship right now, Jude Santi, that Italian driver in the Alfa Romeo, leads by 176 points to his name, with Sickle just behind him with 174 in the racing point. Keiru, the Japanese driver who missed the first few races of the season, behind with 135 points, has an outside chance of winning the championship in that Haas car, but he has to hope that the drivers in front have a couple of bad races, which are the final few races of the season. Up ahead in terms of constructors, Alfa Romeo leading the constructors championship by 250 points, or rather by 20 points. They are at 250 points, with Williams behind with Jimmy Hunt and Miyaki. Let's see if both of them are here. They are here tonight, and they are 230 points with their name. So both the championships still yet to be decided, and let's see how this one goes. I hope I'm audible on the stream, so people who are watching, just let me know in the comments, while we will quickly run through what has happened in this season so far as the F4 division is concerned. Right, so in terms of drivers, we discussed Jude Santi has been leading by 2 points, just 2 points over his rival Sickle in 174. And interestingly for Jude Santi, his last podium came in France, which was 4 races ago. After that, he has scored no points in Belgium, 4 points in Netherlands, 10 points in Britain, which is Silverstone, and 10 points in the Montreal circuit in Canada, as opposed to his rival Sickle in the Racing Point, who scored 10 points in Belgium. But after that, he has a string of a hat-trick of podiums, which is third place, or rather second place with the fastest lap in Netherlands, second place with the fastest lap in Silverstone as well, and he was P3 in Canada last time around. Keiru, however, in the Haas, the Japanese driver, has had a really interesting last 5 or 6 races of the season. Every time he has finished the race, he has won the race, as we see Jude Santi leaving the session, so I hope he can join back soon enough. But what an interesting last few races of the season it has been for Keiru. He has won 3 out of the last 6 races, and the other 3 he has failed to finish the race. So he either wins or he does not finish. That's how it has been in the last 6 races. Let's see what kind of a result he brings up this time around. In terms of constructors, Alfa Romeo are leading. They are on 250 points. 230 points is for Williams, and Racing Point still have an outside chance with 204 points, with Haas in 200 points as well, but they have a lot of work to do if they want to challenge the top 2 for the constructors. Let's then quickly jump to what's happening right now, and let me just turn down my audio settings by a bit, otherwise this will be too loud for you people. Yeah, this is much better. We are on board with Lexa Pro, and Lexa has had a good start to the season, but then could not capitalize the good start which he had, and he is right now P6 in the championship. But there is one driver, Redo, who has already gone to F3. So right now Lexa is P6, and that is a strong season for him, but he would be hoping that the next time he is... What's happening here? Where's Jimmy Hunt? Let's do that, because Jimmy Hunt is going to be the first driver who actually sets in a time, but Lexa would be hoping to make good use of that pace he has to probably mount a title challenge next time. Let's ride on board with Jimmy Hunt. Miyaki has retired. Where has that happened? Where's Miyaki? Is it on the final straight? It is. Oh my god, that's Miyaki. Look at his car behind. And Miyaki has retired. That's his Williams. Oh, that's a real shame. They were hoping to get the Constructors series. The other Williams has invalidated his lap time. So this is not going well for the Williams right now. Wow, what has happened there? And let's see if anyone else is on a lap right now. Keru is on a lap. Keru is in the pits right now. Sorry, it's Lexa we are following right now, the driver we were talking about. And let's continue with the rest of his lap and see how he does. But that is a real blow to both the Williams and their fight for the Constructors. Miyaki will not start ahead of anyone in this race, and while it's not the worst position to start, especially because you can expect some carnage into turn 1 with few front wings flying, but it makes his race all the more difficult, and he's one of those drivers who is capable to start quite ahead of the pack. So let's see how the rest of the race turns out for him. Otherwise right now he is sitting in his garage and probably going to coach his teammate Jimmy Hunt for a good position. We are ending the lap with Lexa. He will be the first person to put his time, which is a 31.0. That's a good time to start with. And who else is going to finish the lap? It's Adam Baker, who's put a 31.6. So far behind for now. There's another car who's starting a lap, or finishing a lap rather, at the Sickle, the 31.6. So both the Racing Points putting good lap times together and very near to each other on the track right now in terms of qualifying times. We are with Keru on his out lap. Let's try to find someone who is on the hot lap right now, and that is McDusty, I believe, in the Red Bull, and he is in that third sector right now, which is sometimes difficult to get right, especially the next left-hander which is coming up. Very easy to invalidate this corner, and he has to lift off quite considerably and has to ensure that he does not run out. That is seems like a banker lap right now. It will be a 31.9, and Murphy meanwhile in the Haas has gone a 32.2. so let's then ride on board with Keru as he starts his first hot lap of the session, as Jimmy Hunt has retired. Is that in the pits? No, it's not. It's not in the pits. And let's follow a Racing Point here, because that is Jimmy Hunt. You can see his car, and you will see his car again when we ride onward with Sickle. It's just disappeared now, but both the Williams out, and what a shame that has been. Let's then follow Keru, who's on a lap right now, and he is approaching the hairpin in sector 2, and he takes a wide line through there. That's a good turn in for him, uses almost all of the curb, and let's ride the rest of the lap on board with him to see what kind of apexes and what kind of corner he takes. But what a shame it is for the Williams boys. They will start on the last row of the grid for now, and let's see what their rivals do, as Keru has gone purple in sector 2. So this is turning out to be a really good lap. I won't be surprised if he goes pole, as he is one of the fastest drivers in the division, and despite missing the first few races of the season, he is still fighting for a championship. So that should tell you a lot about his pace. Now coming up to the penultimate corner, which as we discussed is quite tough, and look at how precise he is in his turning point. He goes pole with a 30.6. That's provisional pole, and that is the time which people have to bid. I think he has gone purple in all the 3 sectors if I'm not wrong. And let's follow Racing Gupt, who is on, and let's follow Jude Santi then, because Jude Santi, another driver who is very very fast, and rightly so, because he is leading the championship right now with 176 points to his name. The gap is just 2 points to Sickle, and Jude Santi really needs a good result here to just get his confidence back for the final race in the season, because he has not scored a podium in his last 4 races, and that would be at the back of his mind going into this race. So let's see how he wraps up this lap as he goes P4 right now with a 31.3, so that is 7 tenths slower than Keru in the Haas. So Keru really putting down a marker here, and so far we are not seeing anyone else challenging him. Robin Gravers rather in the McLaren has got P5, and what's Thanasis doing? Thanasis is on a lap and he's on the long back straight now, one of the few overtaking points on the circuit. So he will be braking long and hard into that turn, and he was in the Mercedes, I believe, in one of the races. I think it was Silverstone when he was in the Mercedes. I could be wrong, I do not have a good memory, but he has got purple in sector 2, at least that's what the game says, and you expect his car to be on fighting at the front. So let's see what the rest of the lap is going to be. As the next driver we will go on board, or rather ride with, will be Racing Gupta. He is in P12 in the Ferrari right now, yet to set up a time, as Thanasis now coming across the final corner as he avoids the inside curb and gets a nice traction out of it. That's a good time, that's a really good time. So Thanasis into P2, and just the second driver so far out of the 11 who have set up a time into the 130s. Barely so, but that's a good time nonetheless. And what is Racing Gupta doing then? He is through the SS, and he has now a very tricky section to navigate. He does that rather nicely using all of the track and the curb, and will be braking hard for this hairpin. He keeps it in third gear, does not go to second, so that is his preferred gear through this corner. And now he has to wait and pick his braking point into the next turn, which you can cut a little and you can get away with your lap not getting inundated, but he chooses the wider line and avoids the curb almost entirely there. He still seems to have gotten purple there, so this should be a good lap from Racing Gupta as well. He won in Italy, this driver, in the Ferrari, and that would have been a really pleasing sight for the Tifosi. But in the wet conditions in Monza, he did win the race and probably become the first ever Indian winner of the European Racing League or European Racing Organization. Here he is through the final corner, he goes P3, and another driver into the 130, so the 130.9. But that lap from Keru in the Haas seems to be unbeatable right now. He is at least 3 tenths clear of anyone else, but track evolution will play a part. But as things stands, it seems like he has the upper hand over everyone else, as the Haas boys, or rather Racing Point boys, are going out in unison. You can see both the cars on track right now. We will be following Sickle right now because he is the championship leader. Adam Baker, although let's not forget, is a really good driver, really fast driver, and probably pulled off one of the stints of the season with 38 laps, or rather 33 laps, I think, was it? On the, oh no, it was 38 laps. It was 38 laps on the medium tires. That was his stint in the Monaco, which earned him a P2. So that is one of the drives which I don't think I will ever forget. While it is Monaco, it is difficult to overtake, we know that, but still 38 points is a lot of laps on a single set of tires. We are on board with Sickle right now, as I'm getting a lot of on board, so let's continue doing that as he brakes hard for the next turn, locks up the left front but keeps in line. And let's see, he has gone purple. Seeing a lot of drivers go past. Racing Gupta has gone on provisional pole with 30.593. So what a lap from him in the Ferrari. And was that, yeah, that was on the same set of tires. So that's 2 consecutive hot laps on the same set of tires. Let's see how this will impact his race, as he has almost gone wide his Sickle, but he keeps his lap time. And through the final corner now, let's see where this lap puts him. It puts him P4. That's a good lap, and just about into the 130s. We are on board with Keru right now, who has improved in the first sector, and he is going to further improve in the second sector if he keeps his momentum going. Fry Pepper has joined and I actually lost a bet to him, the F3 championship leader as of now, so I have to say PUBG Mobile on the stream because he won a race. But with that out of the way, let's follow Keru. Oh my god, he is 5 tenths quicker. This guy belongs in another division. Watch, if you are watching this, it is okay if he's racing in F4 right now, but he is just too fast for these other drivers in the division, and he has to move a division up for the next season. I'm hope. Oh, as just as it was. Oh, SDNF. Oh, that's the commentator's curse. That is the commentator's curse if there ever was one. Murphy has gone P3, but Keru, just as I was bigging him up and I was saying he's too fast, he's saying he earns a promotion as far as divisions are concerned, he has crashed out of his lap, which would have been pole for right now. So that is a real shame. And Kedu, when you watch back, please forgive me, because I have put the worst curse ever on a driver I have so far. As our Instagrammer Josh has left the session, so I didn't even know he was in. But what's happening with Jude Santi right now? He's in P7, and is he going for a lap right now? He seems to be going on a lap, but I'm not 100% sure. I will see his first sector time, and that's when we'll get to know. But let's try to ride on board with him. He is up by 800ths of a second, so this is going to be an improvement if he is able to keep it together in the first and the second sector. Fry Paper, he was up by almost more than 5 tenths in the second sector, and if you look at his time right now, he's P2 with 30.6, and if he can get that momentum, he would have put a 30.1, and in my opinion that would definitely be a pole position on this track. Who knows, maybe in the 29s if he's absolutely nailing all the corners in the third sector. We would not know, we would never know. But right now Jude Santi is on a lap, and he is up by almost 2 tenths in the in the second sector. He has one more lap to go, and this is going to be a good lap for him. But will it be enough right now? It will be enough to go in to just jump Sickle there, who is in the pits right now. And what is Jude Santi going to do? He is going to stay out, obviously, because he is going to finish his lap. Let's see where this puts him. Oh, he lost a lot of time there, and he has improved his time but not his position. And what is Racing Gupta doing then? He is on the pole right now, and he can rest a little bit easy because his competitor as far as pole position is concerned is out of the qualifying. Thanesis meanwhile has started a lap, and let's see what the Renault driver can do. We will ride onward with Sickle as well, but oh, that's absolutely butchered the assist. Then that is his lap ruin. Let's see who else is on a lap right now. Is Black Wolf on a lap? Oh, he's not. He has something has happened to him in the last corner, not going too fast there. Siren Knight meanwhile is starting his only hot lap of the race, of the qualifying session so far, and let's see what he can do. He was running in good positions in the last race in Canada. It's up ahead. I think Murphy has started. Murphy's in an hot lap as well. So let's ride on board with Racing Gupta then, and see if he is going to improve on his first sector timing when the next time he crosses that split. Stays in the sixth gear and then comes back on the fifth. He's improving by 2 tenths there, and he is getting held up by the Haas, and now the Haas gets out of the way, but that definitely compromised his run through a very, very tricky section. And while he seems to have the pole in the bag right now, you never know. Murphy, the man who is closest to him right now in terms of opportunity to take that pole position, has impeded his lap a little bit. There's another car in front which should be getting out of the way. That's probably Spider 99988 in the Renault, who has got out of the way. And let's see what Racing Gupta is doing. He's up by 2.5 tenths, and this is going to be a good lap from him. So while Keru would have improved had he kept his lap, let's see what Racing Gupta in the Ferrari can do and what kind of lap time he puts as his next time on the board. This is going to be his last hot lap of the session, and through the last corners, Iron Knight in the McLaren has retired. Racing Gupta goes even faster with the 30.2, and one can only wonder what Keru's lap time would have been. Let's follow Murphy then. Let's follow Sickle, in fact. Until then on, he's down on his first sector time. So this is not going according to plan for Sickle, as his championship rival Jude Santi is just behind him, and this is going to make for an interesting race here, as you're riding on board with Murphy, who likes to keep it in the 7th gear, does not go to the 8th, and then downshifts to 6th and then 5th before again downshifting to 5th. So interesting gear choices, as who was that? I'm not sure. That was a Renault, I think, who was off track trying to give way to Murphy, and let's see what Murphy can do. He will get slipstream, or no, just momentarily. He will not get slipstream from Simracing in the Alfa Romeo, and let's see what the second sector split is going to be. He is running towards the edge of the track to get the maximum rotation and the steering angle, and here he goes. He's up by 600ths, and as things stands, he needs to have a mega last sector to be anywhere near that front row. That's a good turn in on that corner, which is very tricky on the traction, and seems to be over revving his car a little. He likes to run in a particular gear before changing, as he absolutely throws the car in, and he has invalidated his lap time, has to come back into the pits. Let's see what Vicky is doing so far. Vicky has invalidated. JS will now finish his P12, and what is Simracing doing? He is slowing down to let other cars past. So as things stands, Lexa has put in a time to go P3. That's a really good time from the Alpha Tauri, and this probably is the grid for the race, which will start in just a few minutes, or just a couple of minutes rather. Racing Gupta taking the pole by quite some margin. Keru, who was up by half a second when he crossed the second sector split, will start on the front row. Lexa behind him with a really good qualifying position in P3. Murphy in P4th, and SS in P5 in the Renault. Then we have the championship contender Sickle in P6. Robin has jumped Jude Santi, so Robin will start P7. Jude Santi will start directly behind Sickle in P8, and the rest of the grid we will have a look when we see the final classifications on the screen in just a moment. So Jude Santi in P8, Adam Baker in P9. So Jude Santi has the racing points around him. Bloss in the Mercedes, I think he is a reserve tonight, in P10. So that's a good qualifying session from him, and you can see the top 10 separated by just a second, so that is quite competitive in terms of qualifying times. Vicky in P11, so he will be the first driver who will have free tire choice. Villeneuve in the Ferrari in P12, McDusty in the Red Bull P13, Simracing P14, ERO Black Wolf in P15 with a time which is 2 and a bit seconds slower. Spider, which probably he's going to be his first race in ERO, I'm not 100% sure, but he is P16 right now, and the 2 Williams and 1 McLaren at the back of the grid. We will take just a short break, like 10-15 seconds, and we will be back for the race and the formation lap. Right, sorry for that interruption, but we are back just in time for the formation lap. And here's the moment of truth. Let's see what tires people have gone on. We have Vicky and Will now on the medium tires. And McDusty and Slimicam are the only guys who are not starting in the top 10 but are on those soft tires. Everyone else on mediums. So seems like especially for the guys in the positions 11 to 19 on the strategy, which should be a mediums to softs, if I'm not wrong on this track. Mediums to softs can definitely work, but for the drivers up front, that's where it gets a little tricky. Do they want to do a one stop or do they want to do a two stop? Because if their tire wear is high, they might want to go a softs medium medium or a soft medium softs depending on the tire allocation, or even a soft hards, but hards will be really slow in the first sector. Is what has happened here. The first two drivers, which is Keru and Racing Gupt, have absolutely fled away, and you look at the next car, they can't even see them. Look at where Lexa is on the minimap on the right, and look at where the top two drivers are. That's something which I don't usually see, and the tires for these two drivers will be so cold at the start. I don't quite understand that decision they have. Let's see what they're doing right now. Yeah, now they have massively slowed down. They have now realized that the pack is far behind, and this is going to probably compromise their starts. Let's see what happens. And if you're watching right now, I can see 12 people watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We have crossed 500 subscribers, but that doesn't mean we want more. So please subscribe if you haven't, and ensure you also click on the bell icon so that you never miss a live stream. But that being said, let me know in the comments what are your predictions for the top 3, and who do you think is going to finish the podium. Doesn't need to be any particular order, but let me know who you think is going to finish on the podium positions. Lots of contenders, I'm sure, for that. Lots of fast drivers, as we have seen in the past seasons and in the qualifying session as well. But now is the time where the drivers are going to line up on the grid, and in just a few moments we should be underway if the lobby doesn't glitch, as it sometimes does even after almost that's a good comment, Rabi Melko, if I am pronouncing your name correctly. But either ways, you will see a couple of notifications on the left. Please ignore those. That's something else going on and somewhere else. But let's see if we are going to get the 5 lights on. Yeah, we have the lights on. That's 3, 4, 5 lights on the grid. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Keru in P2, and he might actually challenge Racing Gupta into turn 1. Let's see what Racing Gupta does. He stays ahead for now, and Keru is going to go down the inside. Racing Gupta on the outside. Keru does take the lead. It's behind. There's an Alfa Romeo going really wide. Was that Vicky? I'm not sure. Keru has taken the lead with Lexa behind. Jude Santi has gone into P4. How has he gone into P4 when starting P8 it was? And what a start it has been from the championship leader with Murphy in P5. What's happening behind? That's Robin losing a lot of places. So he was one of the people who lost places. Where's McDusty and all that? He has lost positions as well, as Racing Gupta is coming under more pressure from Lexa behind in P3. And it seems like a calm start right now with a couple of drivers losing positions. What's happening behind? ERO Black Wolf getting ahead of Bloss into P8, and up front it is Lexa who is still trying to get a move on and trying to get ahead of Racing Gupta in P2. Let's see what Lexa can do, but what a start it has been from Keru. He had the perfect start. He has gone into P1, and that is the best he can do in terms of championship, and hope that the drivers behind, the drivers he is battling like Jude Santi and Sickle in the Racing Point, make mistakes and get involved in incidents. But as things stand at the end of lap 1, it's Keru from Racing Gupta, from Lexa, from Jude Santi, from Murphy. Slimicam has retired from the session. Where is that? That's Slimicam who has retired, and that is a safety car. You can see his car, his Alfa Tauri, and he has retired from this session. What's happening now? We see a couple of drivers in the pits as they had the time to pit, but up ahead, the drivers had already passed the pit lane, so we already have the first retirement of the race. Limicam, and he is unable to complete even one lap of the circuit. Let's see what the soft runners are going to do now, because this is a good opportunity for them. And if they have two sets of mediums, do we see anyone going on the mediums and trying to do a two-stop and mediums? Because they are on lap 2 right now, while I know it says lap 3, but this is lap 2, and it is possible to do a two-stop here. And if they stop once right now, they can do 13 and 14 laps on those medium tires if they have two fresh sets of mediums. So we will have to wait and watch what happens. Right now, Jimmy Hunt meanwhile is not leading the race. He is in P18 right now, the last of the current race runners, and the lobby has now repaired itself. What's happening behind it is Adam Baker and Bloss. Was it an overtake under the safety car? I'm not really sure what happened there. But as things stands, let's have a look now at what are people going to do. We are following Keiru, and Keiru will be the first person to cross the pit lane. Does he go into the pits? He does not. Racing Gupta stays out, Lexa stays out, Jude Santi stays out, so does Murphy, so does Thanesis. Sickle stays out. Blackwell, I see a car going into the pits. That is Will now, and I think he has wing damage. I'm sure the Ferrari has wing damage because it's on the medium tires, and no way he would have gotten rid of those medium tires. A definite wing change for the Ferrari, so that is unfortunate. The only driver in the pits, so most of the drivers sticking it out on the softs and trying to go long into the race before they put a set of medium tires. But the biggest gainers, let's have a look who has gained the most positions. Miyaki and Zyron Knight have gained the most positions. So Miyaki crashed in the qualifying, did not set a lap in. He started P17 if I'm not wrong, and P18 rather, because he has gained 7 positions, running P11 right now. So has Zyron Knight, who started P19, is now P12, and up ahead Black Wolf has jumped from P15 to P8, and Jude Santi, what a start from him, as he has gained 4 positions off the start. Keiru, very important start for him, has gained a position and into the lead of the race. And further behind, Robin is the biggest loser in terms of positions. He is running P17 after getting a really good qualifying position of P7. So something must have happened at the start. We were focused on the lead, so did not really understand what happened behind. But that has been the summary of the race so far. I am not sure if the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. I think a couple of cars still yet to catch up, so we will have one more lap behind the safety car before it actually comes in and the drivers can go racing again. Yep, sorry, I was having a glass of water because that is what F2 or rather F4 does to you. Lots of action, which means a lot of commentary, which means a thirsty throat. Either ways, the pack has bunched up, as you can see on the minimap, so we should be getting underway pretty soon. And for people who are watching, let me know how do you like this track, because I'm not a big fan of this track. I think it's an okay track, and the first sector is good because of the SS and the thrill which you get because of the SS, but otherwise the corners here are not very inspiring for me, especially the third sector, which is slow, which is technical and has focus on mechanical grip, but not something I particularly enjoy riding around. But I like the penultimate corner because of how fast it is and how easy it is to invalidate the lap. So that way I do like it. But otherwise it's a track which I'm not very excited about. But either ways, these drivers don't really care about that, especially the ones who are racing for the championship for themselves as well as the teams they're driving for. And we should have a confirmation pretty soon. That's it's on the bottom left. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. That means the likes of Racing Gupta, Keiru, Lexa, Jude Santi, Murphy, Thenesis and Sickle is what's happening behind again. That's Adam Baker and Bloss. This is probably the second or third time I've seen some position changes and then giving them back under the safety car. But either ways, what I was saying is these guys are now preparing for the safety car restart, and tire temperatures are absolutely key, especially because there is a braking zone into turn 1. So not just tires but their brakes needs to be hot too. If they're too cold, the braking performance will be impacted. In fact, let's ride on board with Thenesis here, or rather Murphy here, and I think Keiru has already gone. Yeah, he has already gone. So that is a slightly early restart from Keiru, and that has got what's happening behind. That is something was happening. I'm not sure what, but let's see. Adam Baker is defending from Bloss in the Mercedes. Let's see where Adam Baker puts his car. That's Bloss who's trying to go around the outside. Is not going to work for now. And further behind, it's Miyaki who has made his way past Siren Knight. So Miyaki into the top 11 cars now. We are following Jude Santi right now, who is in the dirty air of Lexa, and he will hope that he can make a couple of more positions to get a really good lead into the championship, as his championship rival Sickle is in P7 right now. As things stands, the gap is just 2 points, so not enough at all to seal the championship if things are the way they are. But a peaceful restart nonetheless. I don't see a lot of battling going on, as Miyaki is now, that's not Miyaki is actually defending from Siren Knight. Let's see what Siren Knight puts his car. Siren Knight is trying to go around the outside. Will it work for him? It won't, but he will have the inside line for the next corner. And Siren Knight, as who's that? That's Adam Baker, who has gone wide and he has lost a bit of ring. And Siren Knight has to brake, but what's happening to Bloss there in the Mercedes? Everything going on, they touch again. And that's a lot of shouting from me. I'm just getting excited here, and that is how F4 is. But Siren Knight has made his way past. I'm sure Bloss has wing damage. The way his car was handling, well, he stays out for now. So maybe not enough wing damage. That's a racing point of Adam Baker into the pits because of his wing damage. And further behind, it is McDusty on the charge. Let's see if he can make a move into turn 1. He breaks a little early there, does not want to get involved in incidents right now. They're running P15, and in terms of penalties, what's happening here, it is a 3-second penalty for McDusty and Jimmy Hunt both. And Jimmy Hunt right now, after a poor qualifying, he crashed out, as did his teammate, has to make up a lot of positions, unlike his teammate who has made another position. So he's into P9 round. Slimmy Cam has had enough of this after his retirement, but Jimmy Hunt right now on the charge is up front. Everything is fine and dandy, no changes as far as the top 7 are concerned, as Jimmy Hunt almost runs into the back of McDusty, and the Williams driver can see his teammate from where he is on the main straight, but he has to overtake a lot of cars before he can get anywhere near him. Right now we are still on this battle, and Jimmy Hunt stays in P16, so not really happening right now for him, as Bloss now on the back of Miyaki after being overtaken, and he doesn't seem to have wing damage. So while he did go wide, doesn't seem to have wing damage. And right now it is Will now who was trying to make a move on Siren Knight, who gave him enough space, but Will now was not able to make that move stick and has to stay behind for one more lap as he goes wide into the penultimate corner. But DRS has been enabled as Murphy puts the fastest lap of the race. Bloss has gone wide at the final corner, and Vicky gets a 3-second time penalty in dirty air. Let's see what Bloss and Siren Knight are going to do into turn 1. Bloss stays behind for now, and that is Will now trying to make an opportunistic move but not really happening right now for him. Bloss loses another position. That is something which he has to be careful about, losing positions in this phase of the race, because he wants to be running along with his drivers rather than behind them. And it's Will now who is under pressure now instead of giving pressure, and let's see how he now stands up to the challenge which is being posed by Vicky in the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo, as we discussed at the starting of this race, they are in a championship battle, but Vicky is running in P13 right now with a 3-second time penalty, so not really something what's happening ahead, as Sickle almost got through ahead of Thanasis, but he has to stay behind for now. And up ahead it is very close at the top, as Jimmy Hunt overtakes a Renault of Spider. So that's Jimmy Hunt into P15. He already has 6 seconds of time penalty. That is not going to help his race at all. And let's see what happens up front. I think the gap right now is a little bit too much as far as an overtake possibility is concerned into P1, but Racing Gupta will continue to have DRS on the Haas driver in front, and let's see if any chance comes on in the main back straight. That's the main overtaking opportunity with a lot of drivers prefer if something happens over there. The fight for lead is still on, while Keru did take the lead going into turn 1, or rather the exit of turn 1. I think there is still a long race, and with 20 more laps to go, it is quite possible that we will see changes in lead as Jimmy Hunt makes one more position. He has overtaken McDusty for P14, and he is now 2 seconds behind, as Racing Gupta has lost a lot of time to Keru there, and I'm not sure if he will have DRS going into the next corner as Jimmy Hunt. And is there any other battle? I think Cycle is having a battle right now. Thanasis will not have DRS and Sickle will have DRS, but he is not close enough on this lap to make any kind of impressions on the Renault driver. Let's see it under braking. He closes up. He does. Thanasis does lock up, but does stay ahead as well. And these two on the exact same strategy. While Miyaki has made a move stick on the Red Bull of ERO Black Wolf, and that's Miyaki into P8, and he is the lead medium runner now. So what a race it could be for him if he can push a little further. The gap right now to the soft runners is 5 seconds and is not really likely to increase or likely to decrease. That's the first pit stop we are seeing. That is Thanasis into the pits, so that is very clearly an undercut he is trying. And let's see what tires he goes on right now, because this could be very important. Will now gets a 3-second time penalty and he goes on the softer, so that's definitely a 2-stop strategy for him. As up ahead it is Jude Santi, who is just half a tenth, or rather half a second, maybe lesser than that, behind the Alpha Tauri of Lexa, and this is the championship leader now putting a charge. And with pit stops probably happening in the next few laps, he wants to ensure that he can get a move done. Let's see what he's going to do. Lexa will have DRS on Racing Gupta. That will probably save him from getting overtaken, but what it's doing is allowing Keru to run away with this one. As what's happening behind, what has happened to Will now right now on a move, and he will have DRS on Bloss up ahead. Both of them on the soft tires. Will now is gaining on him. Let's see if he's able to make a move. Bloss defends the inside line. Will now has the outside. Is he going to make the move stick? He's not. He's pushed out of the track and does not have enough space. But behind it is Black Wolf losing another position, and Zaran Knight is through. And what's happening up front? It's Murphy who has got to the back of. Is that Vicky making a move on Will now? It is. So that is Vicky into P11 now, and he has Bloss up ahead, who might lose another position. Let's see if Bloss is pitting this time, because his tires certainly don't seem to be working well. And right on cue, that is Bloss into the pits. Up ahead, what's happening with Murphy and Jude Santi? Murphy stays behind. Who is behind? Jude Santi is behind Lexa, and Racing Gupta gets a 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his race at all in his bid to be within that 1 second window where he can get DRS. He has gotten a 3-second time penalty. One of the first drivers, definitely the first drivers in the front runners to do that. And what is Zyron Knight going to do here? Does he have enough pace and the grip on those medium tires to get through? What is Racing Gupta going to do? He is definitely going for a move here, and he's going for a move, and he will complete that move into P2 as Racing Gupta has made a move. What's happening behind is Jude Santi, who has made a move as well. So that's 2 overtakes in a span of just a couple of seconds at the top, and that's Jude Santi into P3. Zyron Knight is through on Miyaki, so he was close enough and he has made that move stick. So Racing Gupta now has a very important job to do. He has to ensure that he can pull out a 3-second gap on this man. Let's see if any of them is pulling into the pits. Not right now. So both of them quite committed, it seems, to the one-stop strategy, as Murphy loses the car at the exit of the corner, which will not allow him to overtake. But Sickle is into the pits. And this will be interesting. What set of tires he goes on? He goes on the mediums, and those mediums will not go to the end. So let's see where he comes out now. He will come out behind Thanasis and his teammate Spider, who is yet to pit. But because of this, he is also going on a 2-stop. So I don't think the mediums can go the 17 laps which are left in this race. So he is definitely on a 2-stop right now, and we will have to see what Racing Gupta and Keiru does. Racing Gupta has pulled out a 1-second gap up front on Keiru, so this could be interesting here. And let's see how the rest of the lap or the rest of the first stint goes. And riding on board with Murphy right now, and Lexa, who is running in P4 after being overtaken by Jude Santi in P3. And we will have to monitor progress of people like Miyaki, who's going on a move on Zyron Knight right now after being overtaken on the last lap. That's Miyaki taking the position back, and the gap to the soft runners, which was around 5 seconds, is now 11 seconds. So all this fighting is not helping them at all. That's Vicky and Black Wolf fighting. Vicky has taken that place and he's on the back of Zyron Knight right now. So the medium runners are basically having a battle of their own. What's happening up ahead? That's Lexa into the pits. So it is pit stop time right now. Jude Santi, Keiru and Racing Gupta continue for one more lap, and Keiru has closed the gap to Racing Gupta by quite a bit. Vicky gets a 3-second time penalty. Murphy into the pits as well. Lexa goes on a set of medium tires. What does Murphy do? Murphy is on a medium tires as well, as up ahead it is Miyaki and Zyron Knight on that battle again. And if these guys are smart, and if they think both of them have equal pace, they would not really battle this much. Zyron Knight gets a 3-second time penalty in the process, but it's allowing other people to catch them, and it's allowing people ahead of them to get away. So this is right now it's good to be ahead of a car, but it's basically hurting the race in the long run. So not sure if that will happen. Lexa, very important update. Lexa gets a 3-second time penalty, and Jimmy Hunt has dived down the inside of Black Wolf for now, and that is Black Wolf into P8. So he's lost another position, and up ahead it is Zyron Knight going for a move on Miyaki again, and that is Zyron Knight. Let's see if Miyaki defends. Miyaki does defend, but does not really make the move safe. Is he going to lose on the place to Vicky right now? He doesn't. And what are the top 3 going to do so far? What's Racing Gupta going to do? Racing Gupta stays out. Keiru is into the pits. And that is the undercut which he is planning. Murphy gets a 3-second time penalty. Racing Gupta stays out. Jude Santi is into the pits as well. So Racing Gupta over here might lose not 1 but 2 positions if he's not careful. He has to put a really solid outlap. As what is Miyaki doing? He wants to chase Zyron Knight, but as things stands, he's under pressure from Vicky. Where does Keiru come out? Keiru comes out in P8, Lexa in P9, Thanasis in P10. Jude Santi basically has lost a place to Thanasis there, it seems like. And Sickle, after all that while, has come out behind Murphy. So Not a good race so far from Sickle, and he will be hoping to make these positions up if he wants any kind of impressions in the championship. As what's happening, that's Adam Baker retiring, but that is probably into the pits, so it's a VSC. And Racing Gupta is he going to benefit from the VSC? I'm not sure. He would be hoping to be a little further on the track before that happens, but the VSC is out, and the VSC might just go away before he can actually pit, so that will not really help him. But DRS has been enabled, VSC is out, but his advantage which he has over the cars up front is really good, and this is where the VSC has helped him. On his old tires, he was not able to lose a lot of time to guys up ahead, and he is coming into the pits now. It's Racing Gupta in the Ferrari and stopping at the correct mark. Let's see what happens behind as Vicky is on a back. Keru gets a 3-second time penalty as well, so one of the championship contenders and the race win contenders gets a 3-second time penalty. Racing Gupta is on those medium tires going to the end. We are following Vicky right now, who probably is not going to make an overtake on Miyaki right now, but let's see if that happens. Where's Racing Gupta coming out? It's Racing Gupta. Oh, that's Racing Gupta's drowned. That is contact with Keru, and Racing Gupta has lost 2 positions because of that. And while I don't think he has any damage to his car, but he has lost 2 positions just because of that. He's going side by side with Thanasis, or rather it was Black Wolf, and he has made that mistake, and the next person for him on his charge is Lexa. And let's see if Racing Gupta gets DRS. He might not get DRS behind. Thanasis has overtaken, and what's happening behind? Lot of battling going on, and as things stands up ahead, Vicky and Miyaki are battling. Miyaki staying out for one more lap, as he should, as should Vicky and Zaran Knight and Jimmy Hunt. So both the Williams staying out. Lexa and Keru are fighting. Meanwhile, Lexa has made his way through. Keru has the inside for the next corner. Lexa will have the inside for the next corner, and all this battling will help Racing Gupta to catch up, and Lexa is finally through, pushing Keru wide. Let's see if either of the, but Keru comes back at him, and this is fantastic battling, and Keru will have his place, but it has helped Racing Gupta catch up by some margin. No one into the pit so far. Thanasis is ahead of ARO Black Wolf, and Racing Gupta, his outlap on those mediums has not really gained him any advantages, as he's running P7 right now. Jimmy Hunt and Miyaki are fighting. Jimmy Hunt takes that place in P3, and with just 13 laps to go in this race, is behind. It's Sickle, who has been a little quiet so far in the race, has now made up a place on Black Wolf and will be turning his focus to Thanasis, who is on a set of soft tires, so he definitely has to pit one more time in this race. But as things stand, those soft tires are faster than the medium tires. As we are following Keru right now, who is now on the back of medium runners, but Keru is a medium runner himself, but he's basically easy overtake on Miyaki, who loses one more position to Lexa as well, but Miyaki does not want to get involved in those decisions, as Lexa and Keru are fighting again. Keru has the inside line and he has to stay in front, and meanwhile what's happening with Jude Santi? Jude Santi has come out in P8 and he does not have any time penalties, which he rarely does, so this race could very well be decided on time penalties, especially some positions. So Jude Santi still has a good chance here to make or to score some good championship points, as we are still following Keru right now, and further behind it is Racing Gupta, who is going to make a move on Miyaki, who is on those old medium tires. Let's follow on board with Racing Gupta. Miyaki will defend the inside, Racing Gupta on the outside, but let's see if the move takes Miyaki goes wide, and that is Racing Gupta into P6. But this overtaking is not really helping him right now. This battling means that he does not have DRS on the cars which he needs. He has DRS on the cars which he has to overtake, but are not really battling him right now because of the strategy. But up ahead, it is Keru now, who is just 2 tenths behind Jimmy Hunt, who's yet to stop. Lexa gets another time penalty, so this is not going to help his race as Jimmy Hunt goes a little deep into that corner, and Keru with the superior traction should be able to take that place despite Jimmy Hunt getting the DRS of the cars in front. That's Keru into the podium positions already, and behind is Giuseppe making a move on Miyaki. It is, let's see if Miyaki gives him enough space on the outside. He does. These guys are battling, and Giuseppe will take the position because he will have the inside line on the next corner. They are still battling right now, and finally Giuseppe is through. Let's see if he's going to make a dive for it. Is Miyaki? He makes a dive for it and is making Giuseppe work very hard for the position, and Giuseppe has to stay behind for at least one more lap before he can make a. Let's see what's happening up ahead. It is Keru who is now on the back of Vicky, who is having DRS, but I don't think he has the grip on those medium tires. So that's Keru making moves absolutely brilliantly. He is into P2. He's yet to make the move stick, but he will make it stick. And what's happening behind? That is Lexa, who was trying a very audacious move there on Jimmy Hunt. Did not work out, and instead he has lost a position to Racing Gupta, who's now on the back of Jimmy Hunt. So these medium runners who started on those medium tires are really struggling for grip right now, and they should be coming in at any moment now. I think lap 16 is when they could have pitted, because 12 laps on the new set of soft tires is definitely possible. As up ahead, I think Keru on the next lap, on this straight rather, will be hoping to make a move on the McLaren of Zaranite. Here goes Keru using his DRS, probably battery as well. He goes to the left of the car, and he is going to make that move. Meanwhile, other drivers have to stay behind, as Jimmy Hunt is to stay ahead of Racing Gupta. And let's see what the likes of Zaranite do here, because I think this is a good time to come into the pits and take advantage of those fresh soft tires, trying to make some moves done. As what's happening behind, it is Miyaki, who is again getting involved with the championship contender. He's lost his car a little bit, and he has allowed Murphy as well as Sickle to go past him. As what's happening up ahead, it's Vicky and Zaranite both into the pits. Vicky has stayed out for one more lap rather. So Vicky has stayed out for one more lap, and now you will see drivers being overtaken because they are into the pits. So as things stands, Keru is in P1, Racing Gupta in net P2, and Lexa in net P3. Let's see where Jude Santi comes in all this. He is, Racing Gupta gets another 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his race at all. As Cycle, he is in net P4 right now, P5 rather. He does not have any time penalties, neither does Jude Santi. So both the championship leaders. McDusty retires from the session, that is into the pits, so I don't think that's going to be any sort of safety car or virtual safety car. And riding on board with Racing Gupta right now, the Indian drivers are fighting it out, but Vicky is not going to make it hard for him. They are on completely different strategies. The Ferrari is through into P2, and further behind it is Sickle, who has stayed ahead of Murphy this time around, but he does not have DRS, does the Racing Point driver, so he has to catch his championship driver very quickly before the Haas driver can make any impressions. But is Vicky coming in now? That's the question, because he is, as McDusty has left the session, but Vicky and Miyaki is, Vicky comes in, finally Vicky comes in, and what does Miyaki do? Is he coming in? Let's have a look. The Williams driver is coming in as well. So that is the last of the drivers who started on mediums, and this is how the race looks so far. And let's have a quick look at penalties, because we're not getting a lot of action here. Murphy on Sickle is the closest battle on track, but in terms of penalties, Keru has 3 seconds, Racing Gupta has 6 seconds, Lexa has 9. So he's going to lose a lot of positions. He will definitely lose his podium as things stand. Jude Santi and Sickle are both going to finish ahead of Lexa and Racing Gupta as things stand. So Jude Santi will gain 3 points on Sickle as things stand, so that gap will be 5 points from the 2 points it was at the start of the race. So championship battle definitely going to the end, as if we are, as it were. And Murphy right now is going to make that difficult for Sickle. Murphy does not have a lot of battery left. You can see his steering wheel at the bottom of his screens, and you can see the battery which is left, and he does not have a lot to play with, but he does stay behind for now. Jimmy Hunt right now is on a move, and let's see if he's going to make a move on Vicky, who is going to defend. That's a late move from Jimmy Hunt, and he has made it stick. What a move from the Williams driver. That is not great at all, and that's Vicky turning in a little quicker than he would have imagined. These guys are in absolute battle right now, and they are going to lose time as well as car parts if they continue with this. Let's see what happens for the next section of the track. They are still going side by side. Vicky might come into the pits. He's not, but these guys have gone. Oh, that's a little more argy-bargy. Jimmy has the position, Vicky has the DRS, and Vicky is going to fight this till the end, and he's going to have a tighter line into turn 1, but Jimmy Hunt stays ahead for now, but you never know what's going to happen. We are on board with Vicky right now, as Jude Santee has absolutely closed up to Lexa up front. Murphy has closed up to Sickle as well, and Murphy gets a 3-second time penalty in the process. What's happening behind? But we'll have to go on board with Murphy, because he is in prime position right now to overtake Sickle, and this, while it's just 1 position loss for Sickle, it is also 2 points in the championship loss for the Racing Point driver. Murphy stays in front. What's happening behind? Is Vicky anywhere near? He's not. Is Jude Santee anywhere near to overtake? He's not. So what a race we have had so far, and with 8 laps to go, let's quickly have a look at the tire strategies. And the likes of Jimmy Hunt and Vicky are going to be very fast, as Black Wolf gets overtaken, or rather he makes an overtake on the McLaren of Robin. So that's Black Wolf into P12, and Miyaki out all of this has come out in P11, so he has lost a lot of time by staying out for so long. Let's see how the rest of the laps turn out for him. But Jude Santee, meanwhile, he is just 4 tenths from Lexa, and as things stands, he will finish P2, but if he can get clear of Lexa and maybe Racing Gupta, he probably can get the win as well, because Kedu has a 3-second time penalty which will not go away in any circumstance. So this is going to be very crucial for Jude Santee to make the move stick, so that he can put pressure on the race leader further behind. Murphy has lost time to Sickle. He has gotten ahead of Sickle, so let's see what Jude Santee does. He is going to stay behind for now. Lexa is too far ahead for the Alfa Romeo to make any sort of moves, but this is going to be a good battle till the end, and since both of them are on the same tires, with Jude Santee's tires just a lap fresher than the Alpha Tauri's, this is going to be really crucial for the last 7 laps. As Funky has left the session, he was not one of the drivers here, so maybe just helping out someone, not sure what happened there. But either ways, we have to go on board with Robin, who is fighting Black Wolf right now. Robin himself is being caught by Will now, so Robin has to be careful here in the McLaren that he does not lose a position instead of gaining one. And up ahead, Jude Santee has fallen back a little bit from Lexa, so the gap is still within a second, but not enough to make any kind of overtaking maneuver. Here we go. Robin on Black Wolf. The gap is 7 tenths, so the DRS will be activated, but not enough to cause Robin any kinds of problems, or rather ERO Black Wolf any kinds of problems into turn 1. As what a move that is! Will now, where did he come from? I completely ignored the fact that Will now was probably going for a move here. Did not seem near enough, but credits to him, he has made it stick, and that is the Ferrari driver in P13. So they are not fighting for points right now, but nevertheless great racing between these drivers, as that is exactly what I was talking about, that Robin, he has to be careful that he does not lose a position instead of gaining one. But here is Vicky and Jimmy Hunt. These guys have fought a lot in the laps to come. They touch again, and Vicky finally trying to make his way through, but Jimmy Hunt stays ahead. For now, he is going to go deep into that corner as I predicted, and that's Vicky who has made his way through, but they are going to fight some more, and Jimmy Hunt stays ahead for now with Vicky just behind him. This seems like a battle will have Miyaki retired. No, Miyaki has retired. And where is that? Is that a VSC? That is a VSC. Where is Miyaki's car? I don't see. That's his car. You can see at the middle of the screen. That's a virtual safety car. Is there anyone pitting? Vicky is pitting because he has wing damage, and he will be going on a fresh set of soft tires and a new front wing, which will cause him. Bloss has a drive through, and Vicky is going to lose a lot. Jimmy Hunt retired. What? Where has that happened now? Oh, that's Jimmy Hunt. No, that is Jimmy Hunt, and you can see his car. Okay, this is something really weird. Both the Williams retired one after the other in qualifying, and they have again retired one after the other in the race. I have never seen anything like that. The track is green, by the way. We are racing again, and Murphy is on the back of Jude Santi and all that. But let me know if you have ever seen that. Both the drivers under the same constructor have retired one after the other, and they're not on the same part of the track. I don't think they were fighting. Yeah, they were in different parts of the track, so they're not fighting each other. And this has happened in qualifying as well as this. As Robin is making a move now. He has made a move on Spider, who's running P12 right now after being overtaken, and Spider will fight back. Let's see what Robin places his car. Spider is trying to wider approach to that corner, but nothing doing for now. And Murphy is really putting Jude Santi under pressure right now. Jude Santi, while he was on the back of Lexa in the AlphaTauri, but it seems like Murphy has an advantage over Jude Santi right now, who you can see the red light is flashing, so he does not have a lot of battery. Let's see how the next few corners and the last 4 laps of this race turns out. But this is bad as far as the constructors title is concerned. Williams will not gain any points in this race, and as things stand, Jude Santi is set to finish P2, so that is a further 18 points. And what that means is the gap will be 38 points, which is theoretically not enough to win the championship this race, but it is definitely going to be very, very tough for the Williams to clinch that constructors title. We are riding on board with Jude Santi now because he has caught up to Lexa, so the next time they're on the start finish straight, the Alfa Romeo will have the DRS, and let's see how they navigate the next few corners. Wow, it's really difficult to commentate on F4 races without having a commentator. I am speaking more in these 1.5 hours than I've spoken in a day, but it is satisfying as Jude Santi is piling on the pressure on Lexa, and we discussed this earlier. Jude Santi, he has an outside chance of a race win, but he has to make this move stick and ensure he doesn't get stuck behind Lexa or Racing Gupta for that matter, because if he gets within that 3 seconds of Keiru, he can actually win the race. And if he wins the race, Jude Santi, Alfa Romeo will also win the constructors title, as his teammate Vicky in P13 right now is putting in the fastest lap of the race. But Jude Santi has closed up to Lexa, and he's the closest he has ever been. He doesn't have a lot of battery to play with. He is going to go for a move. He's discharging all his battery right now, but I don't think he is close enough. Let's see if he goes for a late dive bomb. For now he is staying behind, and Murphy has come steaming in the Haas and stays behind for now. But that was a really late braking from Murphy. And what's happening behind is Robin on a move right now. He wanted to, but he is going to get a good exit of the hairpin and riding on board with the McLaren driver. Robin is going to challenge Will now for the 10th place on the grid, which is going to the last point classification. That's Robin down the inside. Will now giving him enough space. That is good racing from both the drivers, but probably made it a little easier for Robin than it should have been. That's Robin into P10. He is going to get points, and that is a good race from the McLaren after starting P7 and falling to the bottom of the grid after a first lap incident. It's a good recovery drive from Robin. Here we go, round 2. Let's ride on board with Murphy this time so we can see how Jude Santee and Lexa both place their cars. You can see Jude Santee's red light flashing again. So while he is close enough, overtaking might be a different option here, because if Lexa has good amount of energy left, but it doesn't seem it's a matter of energy, it's a matter of the lines and the grip they have in their car. And Jude Santee got really close to Lexa right now, and Murphy right now is probably licking his lips, because he is going to have a really good tow of Lexa and Jude Santee both. And look at him go. This is Murphy going down the inside of Jude Santee in the Haas. Murphy is going to get that place, I think. He's on the inside and Jude Santee is pushed a little wide. Murphy has the position. He is into P4, Jude Santee into P5, and this all is helping Sickle, who is running P6, still more than a second behind Jude Santee, so does not have DRS. But what a move from Murphy. We saw it coming because of the exit which he got and the lack of energy which Jude Santee had saved in his car. But that is Murphy into P4. Jude Santee will still have a podium, I believe, because of time penalties, but it is not going to be the P2 or maybe the P1 which he would have dreamt of. Here is Murphy now on the move again. An overtake might not be a possibility this time around, but the next time they are on the back straight, the Haas will put it into overdrive and get that P3 from Lexa. Let's have a look at the penalty situation quickly before the overtake is made. It's 9 seconds for both of them, so it's really important, and they are both going to lose points to Sickle and Murphy both. So while Murphy is going for a move right now, he has made that move stick. Let's ride on board with Jude Santee, who still hasn't recovered a lot of energy, so he probably is using it every lap like this one, which is preventing him from actually making an overtake. But we are already on the second last lap, and Lexa is going to fight Murphy right now. This is proper for the position because both have the same amount of penalties. Lexa down the inside has gotten deep. Murphy takes a title 9. Jude Santee stays behind, and these two are going to battle it out for one last time on the final lap before we see the checkered flag. What a race this has been from all the drivers, especially the top 3. Murphy loses the traction a little bit, stays ahead of Jude Santee, but loses ground to Lexa. And is that it as far as the battle is concerned? We'll have to wait and watch. As we know, the penalties are coming into effect at the checkered flag, so Lexa and Murphy both will lose the podium. But what's more important right now is where will Jude Santee and Sickle finish. Does Sickle can he get a podium out of all this? I think he can, but it is really close because Racing Gupta also has 6 seconds of penalties, if I'm not sure. Yeah, he has 6 seconds of penalties, so let's see if Sickle can actually finish on the podium here. Jude Santee must definitely has a podium, but Sickle, we will have to wait and watch. He is within that 1 second gap. We will ride on board completely with Jude Santee for the rest of the lap as Robin makes a move behind. What's Vicky doing? Vicky has made that move stick, so that's Vicky into P9, but he has a lot of penalties. On board with Jude Santee once again, and this is going to be a real photo finish for the final lap. The final 2 sectors of the race A lot is on the line. Giuseppe stays behind. Sickle has closed up to him. Is he going for a move? No, he's not. He is going to stay behind and will stay behind for the rest of the race. And right now, as things stand, Keru is yet to see the checkered flag. We'll go to him after we see this battle go through. But as things stands, it is going to be a podium for Giuseppe. What matters is it going to be a podium for Sickle as well. Meanwhile, Keru through the final corner. This is his 4th win in 5 races. Keru takes the checkered flag in P1. Racing Gupta, welcome podium for him in P2. Lexa will not finish P3. Sickle gets P3. Giuseppe P2. So both the championship contenders into P2 and P3. Racing Gupta into P4. Zyra Knight finishes P5. Lexa, because of his championship, is P6. Murphy in P7. Thenesis into P8. Vicky gets P9 for now, but let's see when Robin crosses the line. What's that going to be? I don't think Vicky is going to finish in the points here, and that is a shame for Alfa Romeo. Let's have a look. Robin should most definitely jump in. That's Robin into P9, Vicky into P10. What does Spider do? Spider does jump Vicky, so that's 0 points for Alfa Romeo as far as Vicky's garage is concerned, but his teammate has gotten 18 points, and if my maths is correct, that is 38 points lead in the championship, so that is not enough to win it. But Giuseppe is finishing with 18 points in this race, Sickle with 15, and what that does is that Giuseppe has a 5-point lead going into the final race of the season, which I believe is in Brazil. Driver of the day from the game is given to Zyra Knight, but as we all know, we have a poll on the Discord to see who actually wins the driver of the week across all different divisions. Here we go. You can see the podium. That's Keru and Giuseppe and Sickle. So all the 3 championship contenders, not in that order though, are on the top step of the podium, and you can see Vicky with the fastest lap, so no bonus points for anyone in this race as far as fastest laps are concerned. Both the championships still alive, but Alfa Romeo already have one hand on the trophy. But what Giuseppe will now be turning his attention to is the drivers championship, because the 5 points is not a lot of points, but it's the pressure is on Sickle and Keru right now. So Keru, what a final few races he has on the season so far, with another win coming up. So this is going to be really tight in the final race. Keru, I don't think he has a chance anymore, but what a race we had. So hit a like if you like that coverage. We will still check if we can get our drivers into the post-race interviews. So let me quickly have a look and see if any of these drivers can join us. So we will apologize for the blue screen right now, and let me quickly see if I mistakenly started another party and I will have to leave it. Apologies for that, guys. For the screen there, the blue screens, but let's see who is able to access. I'm having a look in the Discord to see who can join. Yeah, Sickle has joined. So let's start with you, Sickle. Congratulations once again on a podium,
Thank you.
and a good race from you because it wasn't looking that good at the start, especially in the first stint where you were stuck behind a few cars, not able to make moves. But because of time penalties and your error-free driving, you have found your way onto the podium, and you still have a chance in the championship fight. Just 5 points separate you and Jude Santi at the top. So, how
Uh-huh.
was your race, and how do you see your race panning out in Brazil as well?
First of all, I want to shout out my teammate Adam Baker, always a trooper. He had a tough race, but we'll go out with a bang in Brazil. And the race went decent. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think I could do anything better than that. Coming out during the second sector, I couldn't get any grip. I don't know if the guys up top are driving with traction control or something, but I just couldn't get the car, put the pedal down, or else the car would spin out for me. So I'm really happy with this. No errors or nothing, and still in the fight with Santi. So, and GG's to Santi, of course, always a gentleman.
Right, and how are you feeling around Brazil? That is the finale which we have in the season, and with the title fight still going on, while the constructors
Yeah.
is more or less sealed. We still haven't sealed it officially, but Alfa Romeo are all set to win it. So I'm sure Jude Santi will also be focusing on his own race. How do you like Brazil as a track, and what about your teammate?
Um, Adam Baker is really fast around it. I think he's faster than me. I feel good around Brazil as well. Not my best track or not the worst track, so somewhere in the middle. But you should expect Adam Baker to be quick.
Okay, congratulations once again, Sickle, and
Thank
all
you,
the
man.
best. We hope you practice long and hard for the next week to give these two guys an absolute fight, and we see a really good season finale for season 5 in the F4 division for ERO.
Thank you.
Right, congratulations once again. Coming to Jude Santi, our championship leader, and getting his first podium in the. I think that's after 5 races you are finally on the podium. So how was your race, Jude Santi, and take us through your first and the second stints, where especially in the second stint because you had a lot of battling going on.
Yeah. Hi everyone first. And yeah, I had the bat from the last 5 races, so I'm happy with that podium. It was very important to claim the title with cycle. So the next race in Brazil will be very complicated. It's not my favorite track, but yeah, let's see. It will be a good heading.
Right, and take us through your start as well because you had a really good start as compared to Racing Gupta in the Ferrari, and you were able to take the lead at the exit of turn 1. After that, it was kind of a yo-yo battle where you were in front for a few laps, then he overtook you maybe on lap 7 or 8 if I'm not wrong, and then you again retook the lead before the pit stops, or you actually put an undercut on him. So how was that battle, and was there any contact during the race?
Are you talking to me or?
I'm talking to Jude Santi, the Alfa Romeo.
With me. I didn't remember I had a battle with Racing GPT.
Right. Okay. I think that was actually Keru who actually had the front row.
It was
and
Keru
yeah.
with Racing GPT.
Right. My bad.
My battle it
Yeah.
was Lexa.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums up my memory because I have a terrible memory. But coming to you, Keru, congratulations once again. That is your 4th win in 5th race, and in the last 7 races, I think you on the last 8 races rather you have won 3 times. Sorry, 5 times and DNF 3 times. So, do you always go for the win when you start the race, or you just don't finish at all? What's your secret to this pace which you have unlocked?
Yeah, just try and focus the whole race. Don't get, don't get warnings, don't get penalties. Just focus on the race and nothing else. And yeah.
Right, tremendous praise shown from you, especially since you are not in the title fight anymore because Jude Santi and Sickle both got podiums here. So you're mathematically not in the title fight, but we are all very sure had you started the season along with them and not joined us a few races later on you definitely would have been up there giving these two a real good challenge. So a really strong race from you again, Keru, getting your win in on this track again. I think this is your sixth win in this season, which is the most out of anyone we have in the division right now. So really strong race from you. And how do you feel around Brazil?
I feel confident around Brazil. My pace is really good, but I don't know if it's gonna be the best.
Okay, I hope for all of you, you have really clean battles as you have had in the past, and we see a real good showdown in Brazil for the driver's title and the constructor title, which is not yet sealed mathematically. So good luck to all of you. Great race. Congratulations once again.
Thanks, man.
For the podiums, and all the best for the season finale in Brazil.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it from the comms box this weekend. This is You Can Beat Me signing off.
Oh.
You're right, man.
I think I had a problem with the microphone.
Yeah, I think you fell down or something.